Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are on a fantastic Wednesday, wherever you are around the world. Of course, it is Liverpool are in action tomorrow against Sheffield United in what is pretty much 2 games every week from now until the end of the season, obviously including Europa League in that, and of course the Premier League title race. Of course, obviously two of our rivals are playing right now. I think Manchester City have just scored as well, which again does, it's not really nice in that sense anyway, but we're here to talk about Liverpool against Sheffield United. Of course, the Reds, well, was top of the league against bottom of the league in that sense as well. But again, let me know, all of you are, in the comment section down below and all that good stuff as well anyway. But of course, what we're going to be talking about tonight is obviously the Sheffield United and Liverpool game. Of course, we'll speak about Jurgen Klopp and his press conference. Of course, he's been speaking about Curtis Jones back for the Sheffield United game, which is a massive boost for Liverpool's midfield. And we'll get on to all of the other stuff as well about the title race. And of course, get your guys' thoughts in this as well, because again, 9 games left of the Premier League season. Again, still a very long time away to determine what's going to happen for the rest of the season. But still, again, Liverpool are in our own destiny, aren't we, chat? Again, if Liverpool win all their remaining games, they will be Premier League champions, which we all hope and dream that they can go on to do as well anyway. But we'll just dive straight in and chat as well. So let's take a look then at the last few games between the two teams. If I can get it up on screen, there we go. So again, Liverpool pretty much have won all their games between themselves and Sheffield United. As you can see by here, going back to 2019, Liverpool win 1-0, 2-0, a 2-1, a 2-0, and then this season winning 2-0 away from home. I believe it was Dominic Szoboszlai who scored the winning goal in that game, but it was a pretty nervy game, I should say. I think it was Virgil van Dijk and it was Virgil van Dijk and it was Dominic Szoboszlai who scored the winning goals for Liverpool in that sense as well. But let's not hide around the facts. Again, Sheffield, if I can get my face back on the screen, there we go. Sheffield are bottom of the league. We know this for a fact. They will go down at the end of the season. Look, I'm just taking a look at the Premier League table as it stands at the moment, and we're taking a look at it. Again, they're down there with the likes of Burnley, of course, with Luton as well. Obviously, Luton losing at the moment with Arsenal. But just taking a look at it, again, they're on 15 points. They are, They are 10 points away from safety. Again, highly unlikely it's going to happen. Of course, the great escape would have to happen. In that sense, of course, unlikely they were going to stay in the league this season because, look at this at the start of the season, they sold pretty much their 2 or 3 best players. I can't quite remember who they sold. But again, looking at overall and looking at the performances more recently as well, again, losing 4-0, 5-0, obviously losing. I think they lost to Arsenal. Was it 7-0? I think it was in the end that they lost to Arsenal as well. So again, 6-0. Sorry, it wasn't 7-0. But yeah, just looking at their last few fixtures, 5-0 against Brighton, a 1-0 against Wolves, a 6-0 against Arsenal, a 2-2 against Bournemouth, and a 3-3 against Fulham. So again, you would expect goals for Liverpool tomorrow at Anfield, of course. But again, the major point for us is getting 3 points. I don't care if it's a 1-0, if it's a 2-0, if it's a 6-0 for Liverpool. Of course, I would rather the latter. In that sense, I'd rather, obviously, Liverpool win by 6-0 more than anything. But at the end of the day, if it was just a 1-0 win, I wouldn't mind that because again, this season now, Liverpool are in our own, our own destinies in our own hands. Liverpool can go on and win the Premier League title by winning the rest of their games this season. It's not, it's not down to an Arsenal loss or a City loss in that sense yet. Of course, things could happen this season, which again, we don't want that to happen, but things could happen in terms of City being ahead, then Arsenal are ahead, and then Liverpool are back in front in that sense. Again, Liverpool have an opportunity to just do what we do, hopefully, and go on to win the Premier League title. And look, when you do look at the games, when you do look at the fixtures coming up, again, there are very difficult games, obviously for everyone. Obviously, Arsenal tonight got Luton. Should be a routine win for Arsenal. City against Villa. Obviously, Villa not really put out any of their. Well, obviously, I know Emi Martinez is ill, and of course, I think that Ollie Watkins as well is also injured. But still, it's one of these situations where we can't look at other teams and go, oh, could they do us a favor? How many years have we thought that way? Oh, if they did us a favor, if we did this, if we did that, like, again, it's down to us. And looking at Liverpool's remaining fixtures left in the Premier League, and I was saying this to a few people earlier on, looking at Arsenal's fixtures and looking at ours and City's, I think Liverpool can afford to go unbeaten but not win all their games this season. I think Liverpool, if we got 7 wins and 2 draws throughout this run-in, I still think Liverpool win the Premier League title. And of course, that does depend on another team's dropping points. Of course it does. But I look at the teams that Arsenal have got. I think Arsenal have got Spurs, Chelsea, and Manchester United in their running. Obviously, City have got, I think, Spurs. They've got Villa tonight as well. So, and then us, obviously, we got United away. We got Everton away, Fulham away, West Ham away as well. So, I think, to be honest, I think out of the 3 teams, I think City have the easier opportunity, the easiest opponents in that sense. I think Arsenal do have the hardest fixtures, and I do think out of the 3, I think Arsenal will drop the most points out of the 3. And I do think it's going to be between us and City towards the back end. Of course, that's just my thoughts, but I look at Arsenal and I go, can they go away to Spurs and win? Can they go to Spurs and win 3 points? I'm not so sure about that. Chelsea away, depends how Chelsea are. If Chelsea just want to turn up and park the bus, they could do in that sense as well. So again, but I do think Arsenal have the toughest fixtures out of the 3. I think City have the easiest as well, but still not the easiest in the sense that they're going to steamroll everyone, because again, City are struggling at the moment with injuries, so not the best in that sense neither. But 4-0 win to the Reds as well, says Red Machine. Big up to Gary as well, saying Talia Albin. Is that a 1-0 or 10? A 10-star, I think 10-0 win, maybe. Or a 1-0 win screamer, the cop end as well, but wouldn't mind it. Let's be honest, Gary. But still, 3 points tomorrow. That's all I care about. Villa are levels above us. Villa are levels below us, City and Arsenal, after what I've seen from Villa tonight. Again, I haven't watched any of the game. I was just in the chat with the boys, and I've seen City's goal. I haven't seen the second goal. I've seen the first goal, and I've seen Villa's equaliser. But yeah, it's City at home, isn't it? And again, that Rodri record is ridiculous. I think he's undefeated in, is it 70 odd games now? In all competitions, he's unbeaten, since starting for City. Again, it's ridiculous record. And of course, I think tonight they've got no De Bruyne and no Haaland in their team neither. Of course, resting the big players in that sense as well. But again, you look at Liverpool's fixtures. Of course, we've got United on Sunday. Then we got Europa League. Then on the Thursday, games are coming thick and fast for everyone. And potentially, Europe could be a big factor in the title race as well. City, if City and Arsenal both get through Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, then they both play each other, which will be a huge factor for the season. And look, you do look at it and go, Liverpool could take advantage, a massive advantage. If we can get a good win away, first of all against Atalanta, that's not going to be the easiest of games. Atalanta are a very, very good team. in that sense as well. You look at the rest of the Europa League, I should say, sorry, competition. Again, all of it is very, very good quality. It's not no, it's no longer, you've got mad teams in the Europa League. The Europa League this season, I've said it, there's teams in it this season, including us, that shouldn't be in it. They should be in the Champions League, competing in the last 8, the last 16. And this season's been a bit weird, where it's been probably a bit of reverse in that sense of, again, you look at the last 8 of the Champions League, everyone got through because they had pretty good fixtures in that sense, compared to other seasons where, the last 16 in the Champions League have shown, a couple of shockers in there, because again, the quality's been that good. This season hasn't been so much. Obviously, the last 8 now looks amazing, because again, you've got Real Madrid and Manchester City, you've got obviously PSG and Barcelona, I think it is as well. And then you got the Europa League, obviously. I think you got Benfica, Marseille. That should be one hell of a game. You got AS Atalanta as well. Leverkusen against West Ham. Again, the quality levels is there in tough European competitions this season, and that will just take everyone's level to another high. And you look at, in terms of what that means for us for the Premier League title. Again, you look at with Liverpool, you'd hope that we get good results first of all, and then we can potentially rest players, or rotate potentially as well. That's a good hopeful dream of it anyway, but again, just a dream in that sense. But City played better without De Bruyne and Haaland, to be fair, says Brit Machine. Zane says, oh, well, we can't be complacent, because teams like Sheffield want to still fight, even though I think they're already down for me. Yeah, 100%, and I absolutely agree with that from you, Zane. And look, it is that sense of any team in the anyone in the Premier League can beat each other. It doesn't matter if you're Man City against Sheffield, if you're Liverpool against Sheffield. Look, the reverse fixture, Sheffield caused us a lot of problems in that first game earlier on in the season. Of course, Liverpool, I think it was literally one of the last kicks of the game when we won the game. But you look at it as an overall sense. I've seen people saying, "Oh, Liverpool should be, tanking Sheffield by 6 goals because Arsenal have done it, City have, this person's done it, Spurs have done it." Look, in an ideal world, sure, yes, but I don't care about goal. The only time I'll care about goal difference is if it is, obviously it does come to goal difference, which again, you look at Arsenal, you look at City. I think we're 2 ahead of City now in goal difference, but Arsenal, I think we're like 6 behind. You do look at it. Of course, a 4 or 5-0 win would help the goal difference. It would, absolutely, but I don't care. Liverpool can win the Premier League title without thinking about goal difference, and that's what I want us to do. I don't care if it's a 1-0, shut the door and not concede. Happy days, but yeah, still, I want Liverpool to just think about the points, get 3 points each and every single week from now until the end of the season, and then look, we can think then about the Premier League title, hopefully. Anyway, as well. But we're going to speak about Jurgen Klopp's comments then about Curtis Jones. Of course, Curtis Jones is back. As Jurgen Klopp says, Curtis Jones is in contention for Liverpool's game with Sheffield United tomorrow. He said, that's it. Pretty much Diogo and Trent can be part of team training next week. Alisson looks good as well in his mind as well. Next week, part training, or part of the team training as well, which is great news. So this week, of course, I couldn't find the quotes that he said about Robbo as well, but Robbo is back as well for Sheffield. So we could get Robbo back in his starting 11. But again, it's also good the fact that we've got we've got Curtis Jones back. I forgot his name then. Curtis Jones coming back, and of course Andy Robertson back for Sheffield, and then Trent and Jota back for next week as well. I know, as Red Machine says, but Jota and Trent miss United. We may be lucky. Jota might be just available for Old Trafford potentially to be on the bench, but again, we won't. We won't know until pretty much the weekend. But again, it does seem from the quotes there that again it is next week for both Trent and Jota. Ali probably be yeah, middle of next week. So maybe just after the Atalanta game, he should be back in full training, which again is great news in that sense as well. So maybe Atalanta at home might be Keller's last game. With Ali coming back. But to be fair, obviously there's a conversation there as well whether or not Ali walks straight in because Keller has been that good. But we haven't won at Old Trafford under Klopp without Jota. Not great news, is it? Haven't we done that? I'm just trying to think. No, because we've just drawn, haven't we? Yeah, so that's a mad stat. That like, not great, is it, chat? The fact that again, you look at the results at Old Trafford, and like for me, the two games when you look at our fixture list, the two that screams out of you know who could Liverpool potentially drop points to? United and Everton are the two for me. Like if Liverpool win at Old Trafford, it's only that Everton game for me that Liverpool might drop points because it's always the case. Away Merseyside derbies, Liverpool lately anyway have always drawn. Like I think it's the 21-22 season. I think we haven't drawn this since, which again it's not great in that sense neither. But yeah, I do think that they are the only two games that Liverpool might drop points in. Again, I'm not saying that we are going to because I think we can go there and win, but still, I hope we learn from the Old Trafford game of the FA Cup as well because we battered that United team for 90 minutes and somehow didn't win the game. But I hope we learn in the league game, of course. But we haven't won Old Trafford and the club. You haven't read that. 2 wins, 4-2 and 5-0. Jota scored in both. So, yeah. Hopefully we do hear some good news. Maybe there might be some luck there anyway, potentially with Jota for the United game anyway. But he did also mention as well in terms of injury news, obviously Wataru Endo is dealing with a knock sustained against Brighton. Jurgen Klopp revealed so potentially Wataru won't be available for the Sheffield United game, which would probably mean that this man, obviously Alexis McAllister, will probably be in the six for Liverpool tomorrow, which again, let me know your start 11 predictions in the comments. But again, I think no matter what position Maka plays at the minute, he's going to be unbelievable in that sense, I think. But right now, he's one of our best players, and one of the first names on the team sheet because what he is doing and what he is performing at the minute, either at the 6 or the 8. Again, he's doing it at such a great and high level in that stage at the minute as well. And look, it gives an opportunity for, potentially a Gravenberch to come in, Harvey Elliott, Szoboszlai as well. Will might keep his place in the team. Again, obviously rotation is huge. Obviously the United game, I'd much rather have a fit Szoboszlai for 90 minutes against United than risk him and, have him come off against United, because look at the FA Cup game. As soon as Mo Salah and Dominic Szoboszlai went off the pitch, the control on the game went completely sideways. And yeah, that was it for me. I know that going up top as well. Obviously, there could be a bit of rotation there. Obviously, Cody Gakpo coming into the team as well. But Red Machine going Keller, Tsimikas, Van Dijk, Kanate, Bradley, Maka, Bobby Clark, and Szoboszlai. Gakpo, Nunes, Salah starts against Sheffield for me, or Elliott, as well as this Red Machine. Chris is in as well. Even Chris saying there should be a demolition and need to think about goal difference this game. I already said earlier on, we don't need to, Chris. We need to think about 3 points. Again, as long as Liverpool do the job for the right now until the rest of the season, we don't need to think about goal difference. We need to think about 3 points. But I'll say this, and then we'll lose the league by goal difference. Watch, clip that now. Like that'll be the horrible one. But going back onto the team, I do think Joe Gomez plays at left back for Liverpool. I think the team will probably be Keller, Connor Bradley, Ibu, Virgil, Joe Gomez. I would see sticking at left back. I think probably Robbo will come back in maybe for United. I would have thought, unless maybe Jurgen might change at half time. Midfield of Maka, Gravenberch, and Elliott. I think that'll be my team. I want to rest Szoboszlai as much as possible. Again, I know he's only recently come back into the team, but again, I'd rather let Szoboszlai have a game off and just play him against United, because look how Liverpool changed as soon as Szoboszlai went off against United. Again, we need that for 90 minutes on Sunday. We don't need, again, against Sheffield, you can probably play a Gravenberch and Elliott in there as well, and won't see much of a difference in that aspect of things as well. So I would go with Gravenberch and Elliott in the eights, and then probably go Salah, Lucho, and Gakpo. I think give Darwin a rest, because I think he's on 8 yellow cards still as well. I think after the United game they reset. I think, if Ricky's right in that sense. Again, if they reset, again, don't have to worry about Darwin getting too much ban. But yeah, I think again, if you need goals, just bring Darwin Núñez on, and you'll get goals in that sense as well. But I think that would be my team. So it'd be Keller, Connor Bradley, Ibu Kanate, Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez, Maka, Gravenberch, Elliott, Lucho, Gakpo, Salah. That would be my team for tomorrow. But still, hopefully, I don't care what team it is, as long as we win. I don't care. And no injuries as well. No injuries is a big one in that sense as well. But also, again, 3 points is the must for tomorrow. Anyway, has there been any change in the other games? Let me quickly check. No. I know this is a bit worse then, but Arsenal are only winning by 2-0 against Luton. I thought they would have scored a lot more, considering they went 2-0 up, I think, quite early in the first half as well. A bit surprised by that, but yeah, Arsenal currently top of the league. But until tomorrow, anyway. Of course, tomorrow it's 7:30. Kickoff time again. I think Chelsea, Man United are also on tomorrow. So that's why it's not 8:15. But again, 7:30, not too bad in that sense as well. But still, again, hopefully we'll be chilling tomorrow with nice 3 points anyway. But Red Machine saying, not going to lie, at Old Trafford, I want midfield of Jones, Maka, and Szoboszlai. I think Endo got bullied last time at Old Trafford. Yeah, maybe. Again, it will be. It would just be interesting to see, what happens with Endo if it is he needs longer in that sense. Of course, he hasn't been fully ruled out for tomorrow, but again, I don't think Jurgen Klopp will be risking anyone for Sheffield United in that sense neither. So I think Curtis Jones will get probably half an hour on the pitch as well, so we'll probably see him, make some sort of an appearance tomorrow. But yeah, you could be right. I think before Endo come into the team, I think that was probably our best midfield of Curtis Jones, Maka, and Szoboszlai. Obviously, Curtis Jones getting injured, and obviously Maka going to the 8 and Endo coming in. That midfield has been brilliant, especially the combination between Maka and Endo. They've been brilliant together. So yeah, it's a nice headache to have for Jurgen, of course, because again, you could change it. That's how versatile Maka is. Again, he could start out as an 8. You could play Endo in that sense, and then switch your in game. Obviously, keep Maka on and bring on Curtis Jones for the counter pressing esque of it. So again, there's options there, of course, for Liverpool. So it's nice having people back, and I think Jurgen mentioned in his press conference today. Again, we need everyone back. Obviously, Stefan Bajcetic, someone I mentioned in Jurgen Klopp's press conference. Of course, he's also going to be back next week. We'll probably take a few weeks before we see him on the bench at any time, but still. The fact that he could have an impact on Liverpool's end of the season, again, it's brilliant. Obviously, Trent coming back, Curtis Jones coming back, Jota coming back, Ali still to come back as well. Like, Liverpool could be in a way stronger position in the next couple of weeks. And that's a frightening thought to even think about, the fact that we've been this good so far this season with the injuries that we've had. Imagine, certain players coming back as well. Obviously, Jota's the big one for me. I know Ali is Ali, and that's obviously, he's the best goalkeeper in the world. But Jota is a big one, because Jota can be terrible for 90 minutes and then go on to score you the winning goal that could win you the Premier League title. Like, that's for me what I want to see anyway. But I just want Jota fit for the Merseyside derby. Yeah, that's the big one. Could we see a couple of changes? Yeah, again, midfield, I think Gravenberch and Elliott will probably play. Gakpo will definitely start, whether that's for Darwin or Lucho. Probably would be Lucho because of the amount of games he's played, but still, I think Darwin also has played a massive amount of football as well. So, but yeah, I think Gakpo is definitely going to be starting tomorrow against Sheffield. So we hope and dream that, again, the people coming into the team will add impact, of course, and hopefully there's no drop off in terms of the people coming into the team. Of course, I think as Red Machine mentioned, in terms of, again, Bobby Clark could also be another guy that could come in that wouldn't look out of place in that sense neither. I think he came in, was it Brentford away from home, and again didn't look out of place in Liverpool's midfield. Same with Jarell Konza this season. There could even be a case of Konza potentially starting against Sheffield as well. But that's the thing this season with Liverpool, and it's weird because we've never seen it before, where youngsters coming into the team. In previous seasons, there's been a clear drop off in terms of development players that have come in, and we've seen them come in. They've been exciting and they've been up there, but they've been you can tell the drop off between from past years where we've had Wijnaldum, Henderson, Fabinho, and this season in particular, for me, I've seen no drop off from any player whatsoever. Like, when they've come in terms of being the youth of the squad, you look at Connor Bradley coming in for Trent, there's been no drop off there. Jarell Konza coming in for whether or not if it's Ibu, if it's Matip, if it's somebody else, Joe Gomez, for example, he's come in, done the business. He's pretty much played in high intensity away games pretty much throughout the season. And that's, a wonderful thing to see. Obviously, again, starting alongside Virgil van Dijk against Manchester City and didn't look out of place once. Obviously kept in Ireland very, very quiet as well. So again, the kids have stepped up massively this season. And obviously with whoever comes in next year as well, as long as the progression, still goes forward with those players as well. Again, it's only a magical thing coming into the team, and hopefully we see more players as well coming through over the next couple of years as well that we don't even know about yet, which again would be fantastic. But Forest away from home, Clark started. Yeah, again, didn't look out of place once. I still think that turnaround at Newcastle set the tone for our season. Yeah, it did. And one thing I will say though as well, as my voice is going, if Liverpool do go on to win this Premier League title, I want apologies from everyone, like every single person, rival fan included or whatever, that said that Liverpool wouldn't be anywhere near top four this season. When we go back and look at, and people will know who they are, and speaking all the shite that they spoke at the start of the season, everyone should acknowledge the fact that Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp came from an absolute mess of a season last year, fixed their midfield, bought a 30-year-old DM from Stuttgart. Everyone laughed at it. And the fact that Liverpool have gone from I think this time last season we were on 44 points, and now this time, this season we could potentially be Premier League champions. Like that's an amazing feat. And I know people go, "Oh, it's Jurgen Klopp," and obviously it's the Liverpool team, but still, Liverpool. If Jurgen does do it, if he does win the Premier League, it will be unbelievable. It will matter more to us than it would City, if it would Arsenal. Like to win the Premier League, and the fact we'll be able to celebrate it as well, because last time we couldn't, because of COVID. Obviously, we celebrated the League Cup and the FA Cup. We should have won the Champions League in that season. But for me, the fact that everyone, when Liverpool have got no hope this season, Liverpool won't challenge. They won't go anywhere near the top four. Villa will finish above Liverpool. Spurs will finish above Liverpool. Like Liverpool will be around 6th, 7th. That right. Like nah, like get in the bin. Liverpool. When we, to be fair, I've got the image now. I should have put it on stream, but I'm gonna quickly get up a table. So the last 38 Premier League games this is taken from. So that's including last season and this season so far. Liverpool would currently be Premier League champions with that 38 games. Liverpool have, so all the teams have played 38 games. This was taken for this this midweek fixtures as well. Liverpool would be on 90 points from 38 games. So Liverpool on 90 points, City are on 86, Arsenal are on 77. Like the fact that people doubt this Liverpool team, and the fact they go on about as well, the way Liverpool do things, we can't sustain it. It isn't sustainable. Liverpool top of the Premier League, and supposedly hasn't been sustainable all season. It's not great, the fact that we go behind in games, and I would agree with that. I think everyone in the chat would also agree with that. But the fact that Liverpool are top of the Premier League for a reason is because we score a shit ton amount of goals, and we may concede the odd chance, but we really concede big. You look at that United game, it's rare Liverpool concede 3 goals in that sense as well. So, well, this season anyway. Obviously, last season it was consistent. We were getting battered by Wolves and Brighton 3-0 every week last season, but this season it's been a rarity as well. But I can't wait. Hopefully Liverpool do go on to do it, because I can't bloody wait to scream in everyone's faces that we're Premier League champions. Hopefully, touch wood, fingers crossed. But Chris saying the kids have stepped up when they've come in. Yep, absolutely. Nearly 2-2. Good save by Ortega. In it, we went for a season comeback, and now we're top. Sorry, but City and Arsenal are embarrassing if we win it. Yeah, and I would say that, again, everyone, City and Arsenal fans, didn't, even midway through the season, though, and even now, like I watched something earlier on where I think AFTV, they do like a thing on Wednesdays where they talk about the league and this, that, and the other, and they were speaking about us, and they were like, "Oh, can see Liverpool losing this, can see Liverpool losing that." Liverpool, the only team. Jurgen Klopp is the only guy to stop Pep Guardiola from winning a Premier League title. He's the only guy to stop City. I'm not having Arteta going, "Oh, we were close last season," this, that. Like, no. You genuinely look at Arsenal's games last year, and you look at where Arsenal was. Arsenal bottled the Premier League title. Liverpool didn't do that. Liverpool went, went toe on toe with City, and we got, you look at the points tallies. City got 97, we got 96, or 98, we got 97. You look at the 21-22 season, 93 and 92 points. Like, it's unbelievable, like how in any other Premier League season Liverpool would win the Premier League title. And this is what I had to laugh at when people go, "Oh, has Jurgen Klopp underachieved?" No, because he's been working against a juggernaut in Manchester City, their finances. And again, I'm not saying Liverpool haven't spent in that as well, but before anyone does clip that and have a go at me for that. But what Liverpool have done under Jurgen Klopp, look at this season. We rebuilt a midfield and went straight to the top. Like, that's unbelievable. That's just ridiculous. the fact that a manager has taken 4 or 5 new midfielders, put them in the midfield, and are top of the Premier League. Like, that's ridiculous. It's unbelievable. And look, Jurgen Klopp. People go, where is he in terms of Premier League managers? He's in top 3, 4 of all time. And if he wins the Premier League, he goes third in the list behind Fergie and Pep. He does. Simple as. If he wins a Premier League title again, he does. And people go, oh, Mourinho and this, that, and yeah, Mourinho, unbelievable. But what Jurgen Klopp has done beats it for me. Absolutely does. And hopefully we do go on and win the Premier League title, because I want that for him. I want him to, go off and win the Premier League title and go, look, we did it. We did it again, and we, that could be the brilliant ending to the story for Jurgen. I've probably gone on a 10-minute rant about that as well, but still, it just makes me laugh. The rival fans think that Liverpool are gonna somehow fail this title, and hopefully I haven't gone on that rant for nothing now as well. But I've never panicked when we go 1-0 down. No, we don't need to, because we always come back. Start the season, I only said top 4 and win Europa. All pressure on City and Arsenal for me. Yeah, it is 100%. Media only talking about City and Arsenal, which suits us too. Yeah, Liverpool the underdogs, and that's what we prefer. That's what we like to be. And again, long may it continue. But our first team to 70 points this season tomorrow as well. Yeah, I'll put that on Twitter, and Jesus Christ, the Arsenal fans will be. Was it when they got? Was it plus 40 on goal difference? And like, oh, we're the first team to do that. Like, yeah, bugger off. It's already been a successful season for us, regardless. But with Klopp's announcement, expectations have now changed. Yeah, no, they have. The aim at the start of the season for me was get top 4 and win a trophy, whether that was Europa League, Carabao Cup, something. But yeah, those expectations have changed now. And you know what? I would also say this as well. If you could guarantee Liverpool winning the Premier League title right now, I would get rid of the Europa League. Now, I want the Europa League before anyone starts. I want to win it. I want to win both. I want to win a treble. I don't care if it's the treble. I want to win a treble. And I don't care what anyone says, because, again, it's 3 trophies in a season. But if it meant that we won the double, and the double was the Premier League title, I would want the Premier League title more than the Europa League. Because I would want that for Jurgen Klopp as well. But yeah, 3-1 City, typical. But completely agree. Mourinho, a checkbook, the brilliant manager, but had backing. Yeah, and look, Jurgen Klopp's had backing. I'm not going to say he hasn't had backing. Again, we have spent money, but we haven't spent it. Yeah, we haven't spent it season upon season. Yes, we bought Van Dijk for 75 mil. Yes, we bought Alisson for a record fee at the time. We bought this player, we bought that player, but when you even take it in the last 5 years, Liverpool are nowhere near the top buyers. Yeah, and you look where Liverpool have been over the last couple of years. We've been second, we've won the league, we've been close, pretty much every season. But yet we haven't spent anywhere near that. And you look at, I always go back to when we won the Champions League. Look at the season afterwards. I know we won the Premier League, but we bought, what was it, Adrian and Seb van der Berg. That's all we bought that season. And you look at how long we held off buying a new midfield. It cost us. Like, look at last season, it massively cost us. Look at it when you actually buy new midfielders and revamp it. You go and fight again once again, and that's just what goes to show a great manager and a great squad as well. But I want the Premier League the most because of not lifting it in front of fans in 2020 was heartbreaking. And for Klopp, yeah, exactly, first title in 30 years, and we couldn't celebrate it properly. And that's the thing. I think if you listen to Klopp's, I think he did it on BN Sport, when he spoke about the Premier League title, And he said, I think the interviewer asked if a genie could wish you one wish, what would it be? And he would say, win the Premier League. And that's what he said. I want to win the Premier League, and it's for obvious reasons. Again, the end of the season will be emotional no matter what. But if we win the Premier League, it will be even more special. And I think that's what the players have got in their mind as well. Again, give everything, because there's the chance of the ultimate send off. We could win the Premier League, we could win the Europa League, and make history. And yeah, it would be amazing as well. But we had backing, but not as much as Jose and Pep. Yeah, I would agree. Wenger, most overrated. No, I don't think Arsene Wenger is overrated. I think Wenger is comfortably top 5 manager in the Premier League of all time. He is. Again, him and Fergie, you look at different managers against each other. Fergie, Mourinho against Fergie. Again, there's so many different Watsons. I would have loved to have seen, more. Obviously, I know they played against each other in the Champions League, and obviously Guardiola come on top more than Fergie did. But I would have loved to have seen a full season of Alex Ferguson and Pep Guardiola against each other. I would have loved to have seen it. Again, and that would have been before Jurgen, and obviously we would have had a wee Brendan before then. But yeah, that's for me what I would have liked to have seen in Premier League. Anyway, would have been them two with a full season and seeing how it would have happened, and what team, 2 derby games with Ferguson and Guardiola in charge. But who do you reckon's the most overrated manager of Premier League history? I don't even know if you can have a most overrated manager in Premier League history. I definitely wouldn't say it's Wenger. I don't even know. I generally can't even think off the top of my head who I think it could be. Eddie Howe. Like Eddie Howe. Yeah, I think Newcastle got a bit carried away last season. That's just got that. But Liverpool 5, Sheffield United 0. My prediction. For me, anyway, obviously get your score predictions as well in chat. I'm going to go 3-0 Liverpool. 3-0, 3 points. Happy days. Hopefully Liverpool to do it tomorrow anyway. But we'll just have to reclaim top of the league tomorrow night, Connor. Absolutely, Hosan. Hopefully you're well as well, mate. But yeah, hopefully reclaim top spot with 3 points tomorrow. Of course, if it's a 1-0, if it's a 2-0, go on and do that. Anyway, but Rubbish is saying, I don't get how Chelsea 16-17, 93 points, then they drop off so bad and not come back. Obviously, Antonio Conte is up there. I remember when we battered Chelsea as well, that season in particular. Remember Jordan Henderson banging one in the top corner. And I think Chelsea had lost, was it 3 games? I think they'd lost in about 7 games, and he changed, didn't he, to the 3-4-3, and then Chelsea didn't lose then, I think, until I think it was April time. I think they lost again, which again is ridiculous, the fact they did that. But it's like when people go on about Eden Hazard. If we went most overrated player, Eden Hazard for me is the one, and I might be a bit mad for saying that. Eden Hazard for me was unbelievable. Don't get me wrong, the player was brilliant, but when we're talking about even the Premier League, the Premier League Hall of Fame, Eden Hazard should be nowhere near it. People like David Silva should be in it more than Eden Hazard, in my opinion. Anyway, it should be. But yeah, I would go Eden Hazard, because when people even go on about the Mo Salah debate, yes, they're 2 different players, but players drag teams to get results. Eden Hazard, for about a year and a half, had a year and a half off, and people to forget that. People go, oh, when they won the title back in 16-17, he was unbelievable. Sure, he was. A year and a half later, it was awful. I think he had 4 goals in that duration. And Mo Salah since 17, 18, sorry, has been unbelievable. I think, to be fair, I think Mo is 4 goal contributions away from 300 goal involvements for Liverpool. That's ridiculous level in 7 years. That's ridiculous. Um, and yeah, people, and like, even I saw something on Twitter today was, if you could if you could just watch one for 5 minutes for the rest of your life, what would it be? Be Mo Salah, because what Mo does is better than Eden Hazard, and it's not even a debate in my opinion anyway. But let me know your guys' thoughts anyway in the comments before we do shoot off for tonight anyway. But I already read that one out. Shahid's in it as well. Apologies if I butchered your name. Saying Liverpool 5, Sheffield United 0 for tomorrow. As well, obviously, a few people going for 5-0. I'm hoping for a 4-horse race next season. To be fair, make it even harder, but I doubt it unless Chelsea or Spurs are or United pull a blinder. I think once Pep goes from City, I think it's an open race then for everyone, because you do look at it, who could be the next Manchester City manager. I'm going off the top of my head. I would have said De Zerbi, but I think De Zerbi's going to go to Bayern Munich at the end of the season. So again, we're not too sure about that. But hat-trick for Foden, 4-1. Again, boring. What do you think about Liverpool to win the Premier League title at the end of the season? I think Liverpool are going to win the Premier League. End of with that. We got to win every Premier League match from now on. Arsenal and City are ruthless. Yeah, like to make it easier for ourselves. Yeah, I mean, boring, ruthless. Yeah, they're horrendous, I think is the correct word. But yeah, to make it simple, Liverpool have to win every single game. I still believe that Liverpool can, out of the rest of the games, Liverpool can win 7 and draw 2. I think that's what Liverpool can do, because I think Arsenal and City will drop points. To be, for Liverpool to be able to do that. But you actually look at what Liverpool can do in the final 10 games of the season, normally under Jurgen Klopp, we do pretty good in that sense as well. So, yeah, for me, I think Liverpool can win all 9 towards the end of the season anyway, of course. City and Arsenal football is boring. Yep, that's why the game on Sunday was so awful, because, again, everything's so tactical and technical. Like, again, this is why Liverpool and City games are so electric, because they go head to head. It's that thing of heavy metal football. You can do that when you've got 2 conductors trying to organize again. It's horrendous in that sense as well. But yeah, that's for me what it is. It is the fact that when you've got Klopp against Guardiola, they go head to head. They try and beat each other. But as you've clearly seen over the last couple of games between Arsenal and City, it's not been that case. Like, even the Champions League games, if they draw each other in the Champions League, guaranteed it'll be the odd goal who wins it. It won't be a 3-1 or 3-2 in that sense. It's they play so similar that it's boring. And yeah, that's why, again, it's another reason why you should want Liverpool to win the league. But hey, bro, are you good? Big up to Rod as well. Hope you're doing well, mate. I'm doing very well, thank you, mate, apart from my voice going. But hopefully you're good as well. Anyway, but chat, again, we're going to leave it there for tonight. Big up to all of you guys all for tuning in. If you're new around here, of course, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you are new. Of course, I don't even know what we're on in terms of subscribers. Excuse me. But yeah, hopefully, of course, tomorrow we'll be live with the post-match after the game. Probably be about 9:30 tomorrow, should be. But yeah, hopefully I'll be speaking to you lot tomorrow with us winning as well tomorrow, because again, that's all that matters is 3 points. That's all I care about. I don't care if it's a 1-0, 2-0, a 4-0, 5-0. Again, get 3 points, and hopefully we can be back top of the Premier League table anyway for tomorrow anyway. But like I said, if you're new around here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and all that good stuff as well. Make sure you check out all the content on the channel as well. Obviously, we did take a clip from us speaking about Macca. That's on the video tab if you want to check it out as well. If you guys want to see when we're also going to go live as well, there is something on the homepage of the YouTube channel. There should be upcoming live videos. So as soon as we go live, check, or as soon as game ends, or you want to check out when our next preview show is, or anything like that, then check that page out again. You can see it. Hopefully you should be able to see Atalanta preview and Man United preview, maybe for Friday as well. We may move that to Saturday though, because we may get more news about certain players as well on the Saturday. So again, we'll have a look for that anyway. But like I said, till next time, guys, I'll see you guys then. Hopefully the Reds win tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys then. I've been Connor from the Cop Council. See you guys tomorrow. Ta-ra.